New OGs. The New OGs is a State Madison production. Brought to you by Solar Masters. Solar Masters is actually helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. Nothing out of pocket to get solar power for your home. Here's the deal. If you're a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, you can raise the value of your home, and you can actually do something good for the environment. And guess what? It's not going to cost you anything to do it. You don't have to pay a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. In fact, Solar Masters can actually only work with you if they can save you money. So nothing out of pocket, got to save you money, do something good for the environment. There are some power. Yes, sir.
Bobby,
XL.
they ain't got to pay no money.
Nothing out of pocket. You will pay $0. Nope. And you save money.
And they can save some money.
And they save money on their bill.
That's a fucking amazing deal, Bobby.
It's a great kind of deal is that?
That's just an amazing deal.
It's a good deal. Here's what makes it even better. They're a SunPower dealer. That's an American panel maker. They've got over 30 years of experience. They even have a referral program that'll pay you out as much as $500 per referral.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's crazy, man. There's so much going on there. There's actually even a rebate going on for another $1,000. It just came out, I think, today for solar. So
you get a rebate of $1,500 instead of if you refer somebody?
Well, so it's $1,000 if you just get solar for your home. And then if you refer somebody, there's another $500 for you for that one. And then $500 for everybody you refer after that.
Bobby.
It's amazing.
Man.
It's amazing. And I believe the United States laws on taxes are if it's a digital referral, you get up to $20,000 of that tax-free. So keep that in mind. That's a good thing to do. It's also a minority-owned business, so get on over to www.gosolarmasters.com and get in contact for a free consultation. Or to refer someone that you know. We are also brought to you by People of Comedy. That is a network that we are on. That's James you hear in the background there.
Hello.
People of Comedy is the people there. That's who hosts this podcast for us. They produce everything for us. They produce a ton of great podcasts. You got to get over to People of Comedy. Go find their Facebook page. Go find their Twitch page. Go find their YouTube page. They put out great podcasts all the time that range the gamut from, moms doing podcasts about being moms to some about pussy to a lot of pussy talk going on.
Pussy Power Podcast.
The Pussy Power Podcast. There it is. I don't have that copy in front of me, but it is a fun show to watch. Let me tell you.
Bobby, they want to collab with us, by the way.
Oh yeah, on what? Because I have no pussy and I have no power.
Hey, I will be glad. I'm going to spend a brief amount of time talking about the power of pussy today.
We are going to talk about the power of pussy today.
So, Pussy Power Podcast watching this, please shout us out. Carmelita, am I saying her name right?
Carmelita Jones, yeah.
Carmelita Jones, yeah. Carmelita. Shout out Carmelita Jones. She know what's up.
Listen, if you are looking to do any type of podcast work in Chicago, if you have a show you're trying to put together, get in contact with People of Comedy. They have great studio rates. It's one of the most advanced studios you're going to find in the city when it comes to podcasts, so check them out and get there for that. That's it for all that shit. You get to hang out with James Webb, who's one of the strongest guys in the Chicago comedy scene.
Is that a perk? I don't know if that's a perk.
Well, it depends on the day. Some days, yeah.
Definitely depends on the day, yeah.
Hey, I used to be a Cubs fan, and Ronnie Woo was the most annoying motherfucker on planet. But I swear to God, if I got to kick it with that nigga, I'd be like, yo!
Thank you so much for comparing me to Ronnie Woo. Appreciate that a lot.
Oh, man. If Ronnie Woo knew how to work a mixing board.
Come get annoyed.
If Ronnie Woo knew how to work a
Ronnie
mixing
Woo
board,
of Chicago comedy.
James would be a supervisor. He would not be on the podcast.
Well, his supervisor wasn't doing a good enough job, apparently, for God's sake.
No, you're doing a great job, nigga, but you're not Ronnie Woo. And he's annoying as fuck. I hate the nigga. I kick him down a flight of stairs because I'm not a Cubs fan anymore. I don't even like the motherfucker, but he's an icon. Do you know he got cited? He got cited once for public disturbance or whatever because for the woo. If you don't know, if you're not a Chicago fan, this cat named Ronnie Woo, old dude, goes woo, 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 like 1,000 times.
Hold on, you gotta tell the full. This guy is just a dude who just was like showing up at games, right? Like he was just
showing up at games and people would just give him tickets. He's like an old homeless cat, like drunk, and he just go woo, woo, woo. Like when I say 1,000 times, that's not an exaggeration. He do it nonstop.
He would say like players' names and then woo afterwards.
Yeah, and woo. Yeah.
Rhino, woo, Rhino, woo,
woo, hey, woo, and he do that shit. He kept saying that shit, right? But he was so loved that he got cited for public disturbance or whatever for all the wooing and shit by some dumbass cop. And like 4 of the top lawyers in Chicago walked in when he walked up to get arraigned for the judge. Before he could say guilty or not guilty, 4 of the top lawyers in Chicago literally stood up and said, "We're here to represent him." At which point the judge began to laugh and was just like, "Okay, this case is dismissed." Like he is an icon. That's so, James. It is not a dig at your.
I know.
You are cold as fuck, but Ronnie Woo Woo is a legend. That annoying old son of a bitch. If he's still alive, shout out.
Are there still any tickets for the Trigger Warning show going on?
I was actually going to mention that. So the live in-person tickets are absolutely sold out, but we are offering online tickets. There's a multicam production.
Who else on that show? Let's give Radescu and Ed Towns a free promo.
Radescu, Hopkins,
Hollywood,
Ed Towns, Joe Kilgallen. Let me pull up the rest of the lineup here. Joe Fernandez, Rebecca Gibson. Who else we got? I believe.
Been on the road.
Actually, I'm not going to say who I believe because I want to get it right.
Let's say who we know.
Yeah, we'll say who we know. 1 second. This is terrible production. I should have had this ready. I was going to ask you guys to promote this. I should.
Where's your promo, baby?
I know. I'm garbage today. All right, here we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we got...
Jesus Christ is on the show.
Jesus Christ is on the show. He's closing out today. Abby Sanchez. Kilgallen is closing, which is, phenomenal. And Brandon Kiefer. Dwayne Murphy Jr., yeah, here's a whole lineup in order. Ed Towns, Joe Fernandez, Radescu Hopkins.
This is an old school show. 9 niggas,
Rebecca Gibson, Brandon Kiefer, Dwayne Murphy Jr.
9 niggas, 1 chick. That's an old school show.
That's an old school show. That's a throwback.
Oh yeah, dude, it feels like 2015 in here. It's in the best possible
2 black
way.
guys, 1 chick.
Yeah,
9 people on the show.
Edge lineup right there.
It's diverse for a show 5 years ago, but it is trigger warning, so
Right. Yeah, if they weren't trying to invite some type of criticism to their show.
Hey, I love trigger warning. When it was at the old spot that used to be Catacombs in Lincoln Park.
Yeah,
I had my single greatest moment as a comic, and it had nothing to do with like any kind of fame and that shit like that.
Yeah.
It's an open mic, and coincidentally, Robert Hines was in town.
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
That's right.
One of my old business partners from LA was in town. I thought he was just coming through. He came through with like a dozen very high-end, sexy chocolate women and very well-dressed brothers.
Now, This is a Monday night open mic that happens in the that happens in like a garden level bar in Lincoln Park.
That used to be a spot called Catacombs that stayed open at 4 o'clock in the morning and was a guaranteed, like, you'd have to be screaming, "I have gonorrhea" to not get laid at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was a tough spot to not succeed at.
It was great. But it's a shitty open mic. Like, literally, the theme of the open mic is quick comedy.
Yeah. So the goal is to be shitty enough to make you
want to show off at all.
You don't invite a date to this. You don't invite a date to any open mic, but you don't invite a date to this.
And my man comes in literally like somewhere between 14 to 16 deep. All like sharp looking, whatever. And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? Nigga, I told you this is open mic, man. I was just fucking around. I just wanted to see you." He's like, "Nah, man, my man funny. I heard you funny. I want more people to see you." Right? So I was sweating, thinking like, man, I wanted to work out some shit, whatever. I'm getting to the point of the story. Right before I went up, the mic has a vibe. It's almost like a rap battle. People are surrounding you. It's not like a normal stage.
There's not really seats in the area where the mic's going on. There's some seats in the side of you trying to hang out, but it's
very much rap battle-esque.
Yeah, it's in the round. It's comedy in the round.
I got one of the seats, and that night, because it was a holiday, it was Labor Day weekend, I believe. That night, because so many people were there, Ed Towns, the guy who runs Trigger Warning, instilled a rule that said, "Hey, if you bombing, we just gonna tell you to get the fuck off the stage. We if you bombing for more than 30 seconds, we got too many motherfuckers here. You gotta go." Right. So the very first person who goes up after he says that is the person right before me. I'm on the on deck circle, and it just so happened to be a new comic who didn't know I was a comic. Right? He didn't know I was a comic at all. Not only did he not know I was Xavier Lamont, he didn't know I was a comic at all. Right? So this nigga's bombing. I lean over to Ed, try to be quiet. I try to be rude. I'm like, "Ed, hit the buzzer, Ed," because I done got fired up about performing for my people and shit. I'm not really trying to shit on dude
Right.
I'm
You're just trying to get to your
He's
shit
bombing
up.
horrible. He just said, if you bombing for longer than 30 seconds, we pulling the plug. This nigga's been bombing for a minute.
Right.
And pull the plug. Dude hears me, and he turns around and goes, what the fuck? You think you could do better? Now, I know dude's a new comic because I don't recognize him. I go to this mic every week. I don't recognize him. So I don't say shit. I'm like, nah, man, do your thing. My bad.
Right.
And he goes, that's what I thought. And snatches the mic away and turns away from me.
Oh, he handed you the microphone?
Ed, can I get him? And Ed said, get him. And I proceeded to roast that nigga for about, I'm supposed to do 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure I did 10. And 9 of them was on him. And 1 minute was the material that I wanted to do. And the whole place erupted. People, it was literally like that scene from the Chappelle show when motherfuckers start doing the robot and jumping up and down. Like the whole place went crazy. Robert Hines, the shit went so bad that Robert Hines comes up after me and finds a dude and says, hey man, please don't quit comedy because of this nigga. He's like, he was anxious because there's a lot of people in the house and you kind of fronted them off. That was your fault. You didn't know, but don't quit comedy. We never saw that cat again, man. I have no idea where that dude is. If you watching the show, God. You out telling motherfuckers that I did that to you. I apologize, man. You just did that shit on like the raw. Any other night, I probably would have just made like 1 or 2 jokes and let it go.
Right.
But you did it in front of a bunch of people that I couldn't just go out like a sucker in front
That
of.
comic's name was Kevin Hart. Here we are doing this podcast. Kevin Hart, traveling the world, being in Fargo.
Yeah. I motivated that nigga. I put it in him.
Yeah, doing movies with The Rock, you know.
He's been looking at his shoes.
Move. Jumanji and his ass around. It's great. It's,
looking at his shoes, talking about what do I want to say? Yeah.
Oh man, the what I want to say bit. That's the most terrible part.
Oh God, I did that on my show last week. It was horrible.
My best night at the Drop was when I called out an open micer who was basically an online troll who wanted to keep showing up at shows. And he wanted to talk some shit, and I used half my set to roast him while I called him out in front of everybody, basically, and inviting him to back up the mouth that he wanted to speak with. And he also was never seen from again after that.
Oh, it's funny when
I'm not gonna tell you what happened to him, but
black dudes challenge you stop showing up. Wow.
You know, it's just so weird. It's so weird. Do you feel uncomfortable? Because like you're 6'7", and you have been in your fair share of. You've been your fair share of scuffles. Is it difficult for you to get into it with people sometimes on like people that you know that you've met in person that say things to you a certain way online that you know that like the only reason they're saying that to you is they're pretty sure they'll never see you again?
There's one black comic. He's the only black comic I've ever met in Chicago that I do not fuck with. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna call him out, but he's a Southside black comic. He's a little short punk nigga. And because the nigga, he talks sideways to me. I want him to know. I'm not gonna tell anybody else who it was, but I want him to know because if he's punk ass watch the show, he talks sideways to me about some R. Kelly shit. When I told him that I had seen some shit firsthand and knew somebody firsthand that I know for fact the motherfucker did some shit, right?
Right.
And he just assumes that I guess he assumes I materialized as a person in 2010 that didn't exist before that. And and he decided to challenge me, and he said some shit that I was like, nigga, if we were standing next to each other, the motherfucker barely comes to my titties. I would kill him.
The wildest shit is people that have like been around you in person already. You know what I mean? Like you've been around me enough to know that like the only barrier between us is the internet. Like the
and he did the shit over fucking Kelly.
And I'm not really
he
like
ripped his ass over R. Kelly.
And I'm not that dude really anymore. You know what I mean? But still, it's like, it sucks that I have to like.
Bobby, you not that dude because of COVID. That's the only reason why you not that dude. Like, I will never forget. This is Bobby Hill for anybody who think we just popping off. This is my man, Bobby Hill. When we first started hanging out, I remember being at a show. I think we talked about this on this show before. We was at a show, very talented comic, Lisa Traeger was performing.
It was Megan Gailey, I think.
It was Megan Gailey, very super talented.
By the way, check out the Bubble Machine. It's great.
It's funny. I love that show.
Yeah.
Her covering her covering the NBA playoffs is hilarious. She was performing. Some guy was being like super rude, aggressive. Basically, he had to get escorted out. He started talking shit, and another comic, Jay Washington, who, if you know, Google Jay Washington, he's a big muscular dude. I'm a giant dude. And Bobby, the three of us were standing there. And when this happened, right as it happened, a couple female comics were talking with us. We were on the back, and they looked at me and Jay and said, aren't you guys going to do something about this? And me and Jay said at the same time, nah, Bobby got it. And as we said that shit, Bobby was already dragging the nigga out the place by his like throat, I believe. Like the women didn't even see you leave. I saw you react, and I was like, well, no, it's not gonna take both of us. Like Bobby clearly has his hand up. And we like me and Jason kept talking because we knew that this nigga was about to be through.
I'm fair at disarming situations that are unseemly for other people. Okay, like if we're in the same house and there's a bug you don't like, I'll help get it out of there. And that is whichever way you want to turn that into a metaphor or an analogy. That's what we talk about. You know what I mean? Like,
it was very. I think Erica Clark was Erica Nicole Clark, I believe, was one of the female.
Calvin Evans was there.
Calvin Evans. Yeah, that shit was so funny, man. It was Erica. Erica was like, "Aren't you gonna do something about that?" And like, Bobby got it. We turn around and he's like, dragging the motherfucker out already.
This old dude was just drunk and like standing up and like wouldn't sit down, even though Megan had addressed him like a few times. And I'm not one to jump the gun, right? Like I feel like, you know, I love seeing any comic like flip somebody who's not behaving in an audience.
Yeah.
But there's also a point where, regardless of who's on stage, there's a point where just like, all right, I'm done fucking with you, right? Like, this is over. You need to leave. I can't be responsible for getting you out of here myself because I'm here to entertain everybody. I need somebody to help get this motherfucker out of here. And that's not a gender-based thing. But also, I turn around and she was like, okay, can someone help get this guy out of here? You know what I mean? Yeah. And we're at a bar show, and traditionally bar shows don't have security. And it's like, well, I've worked security plenty of times. I know what to do here.
Oh my God. It's so
security is a job I've had. I could do this.
I mean, I know we got to get to the show. This is the last quick thing I would say.
That's all right. We're having fun.
With the Megan Gailey. I love her, and I knew that she was special when she used to have a bit about big girls wearing yoga pants. And she was like, yeah, sweetie, that's it. Stretching, that's going to do it. Was kind of the theme of what she went with, which is kind of a mean joke or whatever, but there was more to it. She's a talented comic. It's funny shit. Don't just take that part. You got to look up the whole fucking bit. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because we did a show together that she headlined, and I knew her material, big fan of her, have been a big fan of her since we were open micing together. And there was a large woman in the front row, probably 350, like big girl. And at the top of the show, her husband, or the man that she was sitting with, had said something to Megan, and Megan basically flipped it and turned it around and kind of flirted with the guy in a show way, to disarm him and go on with the show. So after that, after seeing that, it dawned on me what Megan's closer was. That the big girl in the fucking yoga pants thing. And I'm like, she can't do that. Now, after she flirted with the man's husband, not only did she do it, she did it staring at the bitch. Because the woman got mad about the flirting and sat there like this the whole show, basically like, fuck you. And so she did it standing directly in front of her while the entire place was laughing up. Now, some people might think that is being mean or whatever. Fuck you. That's being a comic, goddammit. That's being a professional. She rocked that show. She got a standing ovation because that was some of the bravest shit I'd ever seen.
Megan Gailey does not give a fuck. Okay,
does not give a fuck.
You can't come out of Chicago comedy and make it at any level beyond just being another open micer or like small time comic somewhere else if you have not gone through some of the fires that is the Chicago comedy scene. Like it's especially, I mean, you know, and it is definitely not a simple thing for a woman to compete in a world that is largely dominated by dudes. And so to come out of that scene as well. I mean, we were just joking, right, about this show that's got like one woman on it right now, but it's a less common thing, but it was a very common thing. It was all
insanely common.
It was the way that Chicago comedy worked, and comedy in a lot of places worked for a long time, right? Where it's like 4 dudes and a lady, you know, pretty consistently. And so to like get out of that and like be a reason why people like man, we probably need to book at least 2 ladies then.
The crazy thing is, Chicago has graduating classes. It's not necessarily every year, and it's not an official thing, but like every 2 or 3 years, sometimes it's every year, sometimes it happens year after year. Like a small group, through them just blowing up together in some way, shape, or form, leave Chicago to go to LA or New York. And they get TV spots, they get Just for Laughs. Happens every 2-3 years, a group departs, and then the scene opens up to more people or whatever. And I remember when Megan and Lisa left, them two, and a bunch of them, who's Side Mullet Nation? I can't think of her name right.
Cameron Nation. Cameron Esposito. She had left before then.
Yeah, she left. She was
already gone. No, she was gone before then.
Best-selling. I'm forgetting. There's a bunch of names. Ladies, I'm totally sorry. I think maybe Rebecca O'Neal might be in that group too. If I'm forgetting you, I apologize. But
over the course of like a couple of years, that's what happened though. It was like that's who came out of Chicago though. Over the course of years, it was like Cameron Esposito, Rhea Butcher, like
it was all women, and they were doing it while there was shows that were most of the shows were either no women or one woman. That's how fucking good they had to be. And then to fight through that, and then to be the first ones to blow up. That's how fucking good you had to be.
Yeah. Also, still ones having careers going on of all the people who moved out of Chicago. And don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of male Chicago comics who obviously have careers. It's a great city for producing comics, but also, yes, if you're probably true in most comedy scenes, at least until more recently, but Chicago for sure. If you came out of Chicago and you were a woman probably 2016, 17, maybe 18 even, like you were predominantly doing that through shows where you were the only lady on the show most of the time, where you would go up and they'd be like, next up we have a lady.
Yeah, it was a thing to mention.
They'd have to make a special announcement over the fact that there wasn't gonna be another dick coming to the stage. You know what I mean? Like I remember being at open mics when I first was getting started and having a dude say that, and in my head just being like, what is the like? Is there something humorous about the fact that she's a lady, like specifically, or no? You know,
other thing I hate. I have no problem with shows that have all women. I don't have a beef with that. If they saw talented, whatever, talented comics, that's cool. I hate the fact that places have to do that as their method of getting women on. Because I feel like even if the show is fire, I feel like it. I'm not saying it diminishes them as comics. I'm saying it feel like it treats them like they need a special thing, because this is the only way people will come out if we did a ladies show instead of just doing it, like instead of booking 8 dudes and a chick. Just balance it out a little bit, 3-4 each.
I mean, you could apply that to race in America and probably have the same conversation, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's how the shit works in
like
all
the
isms.
Like if you could just treat black people equally, we wouldn't need affirmative action.
And the world is a better place today.
Yeah.
Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Happy Rosh Hashanah, by the way. If this wasn't the world it is, then we would that would be the case. Talking about some people who are fighting through some things. Kanye West, have you? I mean, you've been on Twitter. I've been on Twitter.
Yeah, man. You come on,
see
man.
What's going on.
Ain't doing nothing, and I'm not up on it. The crazy shit about Kanye is I don't understand who his people are. Who are the people that Kanye, like, who is in his house? Is this nigga just walking around alone? Is it just Kim? Does he have people? Does he have friends? Who the fuck is fucking with him?
I mean, so to give people who aren't paying attention to this any idea what's going on. So Kanye was on Twitter. He started a whole thing where he was getting into this thing about how he was about to drop all this knowledge. You know when the all caps tweet starts? Yeah, there he is pissing in the toilet. On his Grammy, by the way. That was a shot that he posted of him peeing on his Grammy in the toilet.
Oh, one of his 21 Grammys. 21.
Yeah, he does have 21. So, like, who knows what that one was for, right? Like that. That could have been a Grammy for some shit that he just produced. Yeah. I can't tell what it's for. It's not on. I don't know if that's on there. Who knows, man? But he basically went off about needing to own his own music and about music rights and how he needed to own his masters and all this other stuff. And then he started tweeting pictures of his actual deals.
He actually put his contract out there, right?
Which, if you're trying to tell everybody that you are treated unfairly and you want copies of all your masters, one of the things you probably shouldn't do is put out a bunch of proof that you have only gotten better and better deals with more and more ownership over time, and that you actually do own a lot of your masters. Did you look at any of the pictures of the contracts?
I did not look at any of the contracts because I was just he makes me so sad that like just let him be out there like that. So his deals got better over time. I mean, sure they got better over time. He's fucking Kanye, but
so like the course of his deals, originally his 2005 deal, that's the earliest contract he shared.
First deals always suck.
It was after college dropout. It was after college dropout, but it'll change as it goes on. The second one's from January 11th. It was for the Watch the Throne album. And so for the Watch the Throne album, he got $1 million. The remaining of the 1.5 of the $2.5 million budget went to Rockefeller. And that was just to produce the album. That doesn't mean concerts, ticket sales, merch. It doesn't mean any of that shit. He just got $1 million.
Concert was insane.
He's got $1 million just to make an album, right? Make this album. We'll sell it. We'll give you $1 million. 2012, he did 3 contracts in like 3 different assignments of amendments in like over the course of a week. It basically created the Good Music label, which he has now. It also led to him getting a $12 million advance for his 6th album and a $6 million advance for his 7th album. So in 2013 and 2016, he got $18 million for those 2 albums before he even made them. Okay. So additionally, while this is all going on, he got entitled to profit sharing and improved royalty share rate of 22% plus 100% of mechanical royalties.
Wow, he's up to 22%. That's dope.
And 100% of mechanical royalties. So like this guy is like, the deals just keep getting better, right? So he got a P&D deal, which is even more control over his masters. It's just crazy. The last amendment that he signed shortened his deal from shortens the 20-year term that he had before he could take his control of his masters to even a shorter amount of time. It's all type. He's got a deal that let him off the hook for cost overruns if he made "Cruel Summer" tied to an album of the same name. He got all types of shit that he had on his contracts that were like great. According to documents, the film exceeded its $3.2 million budget by some $1.5 million.
Yeah,
the funds got taken out of a future album he did.
That's how the record business works. Like
nobody gets these deals though. Like the deals he's got are
to give the kids at home, because if you heard me, if you go back, rewind the tape a minute, I said 22%. I was shocked. I remember in the 90s, this is a moment when the OG kicks in of the new OG show.
The new OGs is right here, baby.
In the 90s, Janet Jackson got what was considered the greatest deal in the history of the music industry, and she got 18%. So I don't know where that has moved. I don't know where the fuck Lady Gaga's deal is, or who other top world performers are, where the Weeknd's deal is, shit like that.
I think the RZA's deal with Wu-Tang
fucking rate.
I think the Wu-Tang deal was something like that, like 18 or 20% or something like that. That was where that deal was. But like, so the thing is, he's not only getting like a percentage of the deal on the music, he's got P&D, he's got profit sharing, he's vested, he's an owner of all his like. The thing is, like,
plus he's got an insane revenue deal with streaming deal with Tidal. The other part is like, if you're an artist who doesn't have these deals and you're looking at this and you're watching this guy lose his shit, you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you losing your shit on, brother? The thing that really concerns me is, like, obviously, you know, the real issue isn't the fact that he's actually doing better than he says financially. He's doing worse than people are admitting mentally. Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
This is not a guy who's in his best mind state, who is tweeting out pictures of contracts that show he's crushing it while complaining that he doesn't own enough of his own shit. Right.
And you know what the thing is, though, is I think every artist, like, it appears as though pretty much everybody goes into the business, goes in thinking one thing, and then discovers something else and realizes, oh shit, I'm on the wrong end of this motherfucker. And
welcome to capitalism.
Yeah. But like that's I honestly today I do not understand the point or purpose of having a record label at all. Like, you can make a mixtape if you're Kanye West. You can make a mixtape and get it on Tidal, get it on Apple Music because you're Kanye West. People will get it, and they might not pay anything for it because it's a mixtape. but you tour worldwide off that. Future tours off mixtapes.
I think there's, obviously the label, for me, in my outlook on it, a record label is for young artists who need the exposure and need a launching pad, right? And the label doesn't have to be a major record label, right? Like even now, there are music labels that pay TikTok stars to do dances to their songs just to push music,
just to get a joint out there. That shit works too. I mean, there are, I told you I listened to that Ariana Grande song a couple weeks ago, and then I heard the shit on TikTok, and I was like, yeah,
that's the song I like. Yeah, I mean, my main concern isn't a matter of like, when I first saw him post on stuff, I was like, whoa, is Kanye being screwed? And then I looked around, I was like, oh no, like Kanye is just like super mentally ill right now, and needs a hug.
Yeah, he needs a hug. And
What is Kim doing right now? The show's going off the air. What is she fucking around? Why can't? What's happening here?
I'm gonna stop saying that because from what I've seen, I don't know what's going on in their world.
Sure, of course, and it's not really necessarily her responsibility.
I think she actually loves the nude.
Of course.
No, I mean, there was a lot of like, it's because she has the show and she put. I mean, her mama sold her sex tape, so you question whether or not interpersonal relationships to a family that like that.
Right. You wonder how much
what that means to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah,
her daddy defended the most notorious killer of the last century. Supposedly,
she did have 3 babies with him though.
And and so she had 3 babies with him, but that's more Kardashian money. Shit. They make beautiful babies.
I think that's more than any of the other Kardashians have had, right? Like that's she's in the lead in Kardashian babies right now.
I feel like there was a time period, there was a brief second that Kanye was trying to chase Jay-Z, and I think he did it in babies too. Jay-Z has 3 babies, Kanye has 3 babies. It just felt like that. Like everything Jay-Z did, Kanye did that shit right afterward.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, the reality is I think the dude needs some actual help, and Kim's not a therapist, so she doesn't probably know exactly how he needs that help either. So like, it would be great if somehow they could make that happen. But also, we need to get Kanye music, and if that means he's got to be off his meds for a little bit, is he hurting anybody? I don't know. He's not. Is he driving anywhere? Is anybody driving anywhere? Is he just staying at home, making weird ass music, pissing on Grammys? Because if that's all that's happening, I'm good with it. Right? If you want to tweet in all caps and post all your contracts, but we get another dope ass album, can I get another 808 Heartbreaks?
Is that what it is? Is he like Carrie from Homeland? You ever watch Homeland?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Carrie had to go off her meds to like solve a fucking thing because like she thought better and shit. Kanye goes off his meds to do an album. Is that what it is?
What
I'm not even being funny
though?
Right now. I am not diagnosed bipolar, although I had a girlfriend told me that I was.
What artists are not? I mean, a little bit of being in the space where you are really on your game with your art, I think, for high level artists requires not mental illness per se, but just like just a level of introspection to the creation that you're making that drives that energy that comes out. And sometimes that is represented because of mental illness. Sometimes that drives someone to mental illness. But sometimes that can create some amazing stuff. So who knows? Did you see? I mean, obviously, I know we want to talk about this because this is a big story for you. The you take a little bit of heat on this one. The Cardi B and Offset divorce that's happened. That a lot of people are concerned about, but I could mostly care less about. I know you wanted to talk about it. So.
Okay, so. Let me just say at the onset that I'm a Cardi B fan. I love Cardi B. She makes great fucking music. Didn't follow her on the reality show. I don't watch fucking reality shows. But as soon as I heard her rap, this bitch got flow. Digger. Right?
Right.
I didn't even make a joke. I want to be clear. I didn't make a joke. Had to make a joke about somebody getting divorced. However, I made a post that said people getting mad because there's a ton of mostly women getting mad that people were making jokes like he cheated on her. How is it her fault? And blah, blah, blah. I didn't see anybody blame. Well, I did see some lame motherfuckers blaming her or whatever like that. Those corny motherfuckers was haters. Those are the same dudes I was angry about WAP. I'm angry about the song. I don't give a fuck about them. But the jokes that people were making about, I guess the WAPing and all that or whatever, that's a legitimate joke. She has a line in the song saying that that's how she got the ring.
Right.
If that's how you got the ring and the motherfucker's out cheating, you open to fodder. And if anybody thinks that that's misogynistic, whatever, okay, this is my cancel audition tape. Fuck you. Fuck you. Cancel me on this. Suck my dick. You're wrong. And I'm not like, okay, I had like women on my fucking pages.
Cancel me on this.
Page, getting all fucking up. They're like, you're some dumb shit. She's worth more than him anyway. And blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the dissolution of their marriage. He cheated on her. She wants to leave him. That's perfectly okay. But she made a song saying that her pussy got her a ring. She don't cook, she don't clean, and the pussy got her a ring. She don't say the pussy part, but that's what she's implying.
Right.
That leaves her open. If she gets divorced less than a month later, that leaves her open to fodder. That's them the motherfucking rules. That's how we play the goddamn game.
If you advertise that the pussy got you the ring, then if you lose the ring, the pussy has to be a part of that too, right? I said this in the 50
show to you, man. 50 Cent had a song called Magic Stick.
Right.
Where he was talking about his dick, bragging about his dick. If a month after that song came out, a bunch of famous chicks that hooked up with 50 came out, was like, 50 come quick. His dick little as fuck. What is Magic Stick?
It's like close-up magic.
Blah, blah, blah. Like we'd be clowning 50. 100%.
1,000%.
1,000%. And I'm not happy that she's divorced, other than the fact that I am happy for this one reason that she's divorced. Cardi B promotes hoe shit.
and hoe shit is coming.
I'm pro hoe. Some hoe shit coming.
She was promoting hoe shit, and let me tell you, she's single.
I am very
hoe shit is coming.
Oh, in my opinion, being a hoe is contagious. If you put a nice girl around a bunch of hoes, that bitch finna be a hoe too. If you put a hoe around a bunch of church bitches, she might go to church, but she fucking the deacon.
Oh shit!
She a hoe. She's still hoeing. She gonna hoe at church. Everybody know they church got a hoe. That bitch was a hoe before she got there. She came to church because she's hanging out with church bitches, but she's still a hoe. But you can take a church bitch that ain't never been a hoe, put her in a room full of hoes, and she hoeing all day. All it takes is a little bit of time, but it is contagious. So Cardi B, get your hoe game on, girl.
A little bit of time and a lot of bit of dick. Monogamous people are so funny. Honestly, like watching these arguments going online, I'm just like, the way y'all approach shit is so confusing to me. You know what I mean? Like, if so much of this would have been solved by Offset telling her from the start, like, obviously I'm Offset. Like I'm one of the dopest rappers out right now. Migos, like obviously I'm gonna fuck on the road, right? Like I'll give you a baby, you can talk all your WAP shit, but I'm gonna go fuck on the road. And she could have been like, I'm not down with that, and then that could have slid off the top, right? Like would have never had to worry about it. But instead, like there's this whole thing. So like it's everybody's fault. It's everybody's fault. It's her fault and it's his fault. It's everybody. They both need to get roasted.
It's sad that
maybe. I mean, I don't feel sad about marriages not working out. I think that's a silly thing to feel sad about. I think
it's sad because people are hurt. People thought some shit was gonna be something and it wasn't.
I'm sad that somebody lied to somebody or wasn't able to be honest with themselves. I'm not sad about a relationship not working out. I'm sad about the reasons.
You're mad at the reason it didn't work out.
I mean, it may sound like I'm splitting hairs, but like, marriages don't work out. Like that's a thing that happens. I'm not going to be sad over. Like I feel this is the same struggle I have with death. It's the same struggle I have with death, right? Like I don't get sad specifically about death, but I do get sad about the reasons and the timing of death sometimes, right? Like death itself is not a saddening thing to me. Just like the failure of a relationship isn't by itself saddening. Like relationships end all the time. It's not a weird thing.
This is surprise party Bobby right here. This is aliens. Yeah, we knew aliens were here, Bobby, right here. You're like, even killed, man. I want to get. We're gonna do a show.
I'm chill, nigga. I'm chill.
Blood pressure, and then we just gonna have random shit just to see what happens. Like this.
My blood pressure does not move very much. Let me tell you, my shit is rather. Unless I get like, it takes the real fury for me to get there, and by then it's just like. Then it's gone.
That's when you dragging niggas out the bar.
But yeah, man, shit like right. But shit like this, I'm just like, yeah, this happens to y'all all the time. Like, yeah, like it's almost like it's a thing that could be solved by better communication and honesty, but
or
like
not caring so much about where somebody who somebody fucks. It's a weird thing. That's
the real issue.
I understand disease, and I understand people having children outside.
You understand disease.
I understand people's concern about catching diseases.
I don't.
Here's what I'm saying. People are like, when people think like we're both polyamorous. When people think about polyamory, the first thing a woman who is used to a monogamous. I'm sorry, got stuck there. Monogamous relationship. The first thing they say is diseases. Like,
so let me stop before you get there. Let me help you.
I know where you're gonna go. I think we're going to the same place.
Where you going?
Who the fuck are you with? Cheated on you?
That's not where I'm going.
Okay, where you going? Go.
Where I'm going is from an honest statistical, scientific standpoint. If you want to look at actual numbers, the STD rates of monogamous people are about the same as the STD rates for polyamorous people. So what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
Y'all get the hurt the same way everybody else get the hurt.
And everything else. And the conversation that nobody ever wants to have, especially when it comes to the polyamory shit, is so I will see women who will post some shit like, all niggas cheat, all dudes cheat, men all cheat, all men all cheat, men are all dogs, and stuff like that. So if you knew that going into the game, you think all men are dogs, you knew that going in. That's your motto. I didn't say that shit, you said that shit. Why are you surprised when a motherfucker cheats? Like, this is the part of a WAP thing that I didn't say. I forgot to add on to the end of the WAP thing. A WAP stands for working ass pussy. That's a regular pussy. A regular aroused pussy is wet. That's what it's supposed to do. It's just a working pussy. It's not special. All pussy is magical. Bad pussy is actually really hard to find. Somebody gotta do something to pussy to make it bad pussy. Pussy is a pussy. All pussy is fucking magical. Pussy is great. As long as it's clean and ready to be had, ready to be touched, the shit is amazing. Like, everybody walking around with WAP. It's not a special thing. Good dick is special. And I'm not saying that because I'm a man. I'm saying that because that's what y'all tell us. Women, you motherfuckers getting uptight about me saying this shit right now. You the motherfuckers that say good dick is hard to find. Okay? You the motherfuckers that say that the reason why you put up with the shit is because good dick is hard to find. And I don't know any dude. I don't know any man. I know a lot of dudes. I don't know a single motherfucker that has a trouble finding good pussy. Every dude I know think he got good pussy. You know why? Because all y'all got good pussy.
Yeah, I will tell you this. In all the years that I've hung out with dudes, we may talk about all the other flaws we may have in a relationship, but I've never hung out with a dude where he's like, yeah, but like, I just hate fucking her.
Like, it just doesn't, it's not, like,
you know what's terrible? The sex.
Don't get me wrong.
She just doesn't make me come.
People have special skills. Fuck yeah. There's a young lady.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's
watching the show that I secretly call. She doesn't even know what I call it. I call her goat throat. Greatest of all time.
She probably knows. Let me just tell you.
Goat throat.
Let me tell you. She knows. Okay, she knows.
Yeah, and she's amazing. That's a special skill that required talent.
Well, I mean, part of the deal is right, like and it's come up in some of the stuff that's been out recently. The approach that men and women have to sex is different. And I think the approach that people should have to sex in the first place should be different than the way it normally materializes for both men and women and everybody else. But I think that, like, you know, obviously men's approach to sex is like, hey, man, if I get in there, it's a victory. And women are just like, I need specific shit to go down. You know, like there should definitely be a goal here. You're getting a thing. I'd like a thing, right? Like, for guys to get to the thing they want, it's not the most.
It's a very easy journey. It's a very easy journey for us. Like, yeah.
It doesn't require.
If it's wet, it's a win. If it's wet, it's gonna happen. Like, if it's wet, it's gonna happen.
I mean, sometimes when it's not wet, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like,
there's been a couple times.
It's not great, but like, that's still gonna happen. And guess what? Guys are not leaving disappointed even in those situations. And like, so that, yes, I think the idea of, you know, thinking that because a woman thinking that because she's good at having sex, that is enough to retain somebody is not necessarily accurate, especially because dudes have proven that to not be the case. That's just not the way that's ever worked out. No guy's ever like.
And there's just always, and I mean, there's just always somebody who is just as good or who's willing to do that one thing you won't.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a shame. It's very competitive for guys because, most of the time you're never really sure if you're one of the guys with good dick. Sometimes sometimes for sure, right? Sometimes you're like, oh, for sure. And then sometimes you're like, you run into somebody, you're like, well, I thought I was good dick, but I'm not sure what's going on here.
No, that's the thing. That's why good dick is hard to find. Because
even on your best dick days, sometimes you have off dick day.
By the way, okay, if any of my friends are online, feel like you want to expose some shit, go ahead, blast me out online. I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to be humble, but I don't have a lot of negative reviews going on.
But here's the thing: I definitely have had some off games, baby.
There's some times we get a little excited. There's some
I was out there, I pitched a no-hitter. I was just knocking these motherfuckers out. And I had some times where the shit didn't go, they put up a lot of runs. It wasn't a good night.
Call for a reliever. Bring in the lefty. We're not going to be able to make it through this one.
For real. And,
I need the closer.
Yeah, that was before I discovered Dick Pill and Molly. But now that I got Dick Pills and Molly, it's groovy. It's groovy. But before Dick Pills and Molly, but as a matter of fact, Goat Throat. I owe you. That was before Dick Pills and Molly. You was doing all that shit when I was at half my game.
I like how he addresses her directly by calling her Goat Throat. It's listen, Pills and Molly are allowed. We're Generation X now. We're getting older. We need to be able to use dick pills. We need any type of enhancements we can get.
all the way.
We'll take the enhancements. There's some
all day.
Speaking of some enhancement news, we have an official She-Hulk. We have an official She-Hulk. Do you know Tatiana Maslany? Do you know who that is?
I know her because I know you, and you talk about her any chance you get. You are a big fan of that show, Orphan Black, and you are a big fan of her. I don't know why. A lot of people told me Orphan Black is good. I've heard. I mean, it won awards. Of course, it's good. I've never seen. I think I watched like one episode. I mean, I'm not even sure if I did that. But I heard great things, so I'm excited.
So if you don't know about Orphan Black and you're just hearing about Tatiana Maslany getting the role as She-Hulk, which is a super dope role, it's going to be on Disney Plus. It's going to be one of the Marvel TV series that they have coming out to kind of connect the universe. It's the next step. Jennifer Walters is Bruce Banner's cousin in the comics. She gets a blood transfusion from him. She becomes She-Hulk. She can actually control turning into She-Hulk, which is a cool thing. And she actually retains her personality, most of it, when she's She-Hulk, although she is kind of open to fits of rage and shit like that. And she's super powerful and all that. But Tatiana Maslany was on a show called Orphan Black.
Sexually liberated for a superhero.
Very much so. Tatiana Maslany was the lead actress on Orphan Black, a show in which she played, I believe, 11 characters. She played like, I think 10 versions of a clone throughout the series. And so it's crazy how you will watch a show with these different versions of her. And even though it's a camera trick, it is for sure 10 different people. There's like when I first started watching, I was like, are we sure she's not a twin? Are we sure there's not like, and then like a third, because at first it's just two. And then as the show goes on, you start finding out there's more. And it's a kind of futuristic sci-fi fantasy kind of a show. But she's so good, man. She's so good at playing these characters in ways in which you lose them. And it's like, we talk about character actors where over the course of a career, you see them kind of be different people. But like, this is like within the same episode. There's scenes that they show, and you start watching like some of the outtakes and shit where they film it. And there's scenes where there's like 5 versions of her in a room at the same time. It's crazy. It's just crazy, man.
I mean, obviously that's camera.
She has to shoot all the different. Yeah. She has to shoot all the different parts though, and then they have to work that together with doubles and all that shit to make it work. But like, she has to accents she plays a character who has been cloned, and the cloned babies were like split all over the world. And so it's her with like 10 or 11 different accents as well. Like they're like it's not just 10 people in America. It's like 10 people throughout the world with different accents and languages and the whole 9 yards. It's wild, dude. So and she's dope in it.
As you know, Bobby, I too am an actor.
Yes.
Stacks on Shy season 3, 15 seconds on screen. No, just fucking around. But no, just the idea of getting for each of those roles, like episodes where she was playing herself in multiple however many roles, to change your character that much. In that, I wonder if they shot the first thing as you were talking about that. I was wondering if they shot if she was this one character, if they shot all of that character's parts in one thing and then moved on.
Yeah, it's interesting to find out what was going on with that, because that'd be
I'm sure there's probably wardrobe changes and shit and all that other stuff. And
yeah, there's got to be something to that.
I would love to see the making of it. I'm going to watch the show now because I'm trying to avoid politics as much as possible. So right. I needed shows to watch. Thank you for.
I would go find Orphan Black and check it out. She's also in the Perry Mason show that's on HBO or HBO Max or whatever. So I would check that out too. I've heard she's really good in that too. I'm going to watch it because I didn't realize she was in it. And now that she's there, I'm like, what? I mean, she's just an actor that I just watch. You know, sometimes you see somebody who's just a good actor, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever you do, I need to go watch that because you're going to be dope in it. And
the guy who plays Perry Mason is he's from The Americans. And,
okay,
that show was pretty amazing. If you didn't see it.
You probably have to. Yeah, I haven't watched all of it, but I've watched like a few seasons of The Americans. And it's really good.
You didn't like it? You don't sound like you like it?
No, I do like it. I think there was just like a time. I think when it was going through its later seasons, I was doing the superhero show podcast. Okay. And so like every hour,
you didn't have time. Yeah.
If I was watching an hour of television, it was going to be some superhero shit. That's all that was going on.
Dude, I wanted to be a part of that podcast, but I didn't want to take on having to watch all the extra shit because I was like, I'll watch all the Marvel shit anyway, but I got to watch all the DC shit too. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
We probably would have been wiser to include you into that whole situation. It would have been a lot of fun to have you talking about that. You've been playing Marvel's Avengers. Have you been enjoying that game?
Dude, that game is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Dope. I am not very good at it because I just realized I saw some comics talking online and they were like so far ahead. Like somebody beat it. I think Matthew Bright has beat it already. And I'm still at a very early stage. Like as you go through the game, you start out as Miss Marvel, and as you go through the game, you accrue the Avengers. You basically go find them and bring them back together. And it goes Captain Marvel, Hulk, Iron Man. I am just getting to where I get Tony Stark.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I should have been much further along, according to everybody that I know.
I was about to get it, but like they've just made the announcement for the PS5 and the new Xboxes that are coming out with all their prices stuff, and I just know they're going to release new versions of all these games. Most likely, there's going to be a second Avengers.
I don't think PS5 is doing this, but Xbox is doing a you automatically can upgrade it.
Yeah, so like there'll be you automatically get what upgraded, the game?
So yeah, so like when I buy Xbox,
they'll upgrade the game?
Yeah, I'll get the Xbox X version automatically.
Maybe that, I don't know if that's happened with the PS5 for the Avengers. I know they're backwards compatible to the PS4, so like I'd still be able to play it, but I don't know. I'm also considering so they announced pricing for the PlayStation. I think it's $499 for the one with the disc drive and $399 without. Is that right, James?
Yeah, those are right.
Yeah, $499 with the drive and $399 without. Yeah. That's the other thing is I'm probably gonna get one without the drive because I don't know what
What is the point of having the drive these days?
I don't know if you're a fucking child. Yeah, people that are like they want to collect like actual objects. Maybe they need to do something. They need to do coke off of something. I don't know. I can't think of any other reason why you want.
What are you knocking that?
I saw somebody.
Not that I want to knock that. I don't. Hey man, if you want to do coke off of your video game.
Also,
cover.
I do think this is probably the reason I'm going to get a drive, and I don't know the answer to this, but special edition and like really hardcore like collector's editions and stuff, like they come with a disc, and I don't know if they're going to send like a digital. I'm one of those losers that does that, by the way. And I don't
collecting
know.
Physical copies.
Yeah, but like only if they have like a special thing, like if it's a game that I like, if the Miles Morales Spider-Man comes with like a Spider-Man mask or something, like I like to go for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that shit's dope. That's dope.
I'm not sure exactly if they're gonna do like digital versions of like Ultimate Special Collector's Editions. If they did, if that was like confirmed, I would get a no drive edition absolutely 100% because it's just prettier to look at, frankly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm getting a drive, boys. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, the baller mentality of me is like, I would get one without the drive and then just buy that physical copy anyway, just to have it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd still get the drive version
right now. So like,
I know, right? I got a whole thing back here.
So
yeah. Oh yeah, I collect. I'm a bit of a knick-knack collector, but that's a thing.
Yeah, I think I might be sticking Xbox. I have an Xbox One X now.
Yeah.
The X series is obviously going to be, I think it's 4 times what mine is. So that intrigues the fuck out of me.
Ability? Like
4 times the ability.
Yeah,
mine is my Xbox X is fucking One X is insane.
Dude, the Spider. Did you see the Miles Morales Spider-Man demo?
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm thinking about going PlayStation, because I'm sick of not having Spider-Man in my life. And the Avengers, the Avengers game on Xbox doesn't have Spider-Man, and I can't. Tony Stark, dude, I'm gonna send you video tonight after we do this. I'm gonna send you video of me being Iron Man.
Okay,
it's dope. It's fucking. You are Iron Man, dude.
I mean, you're doing for the record,
hand blasters. You're doing for the record. Blasters, you're doing the levitation, the float, the turn, the fly around. You're doing all the shit. I haven't got to actually beat him yet because I haven't actually but you do a thing in the war room. You know, the hologram war room.
Right.
Where you get to beat him and fight a bunch of shit. Nigga, man, I was 10 years old playing that game when I was Tony Stark, dude.
So what's happened with Fortnite now, just to share a comparative story, because that's some Marvel shit too going on. The rifts have opened up, and there's a whole section of the map that is covered with Stark Industries now. And so if you land there, like if you're playing like one of the competitive games, like Stark's in the Iron Man suit patrolling down there, and you can fight him and beat him and take the card and get in his vault. But if you beat him, you get the repulsor blasters and you get the levitation shit, so you can raise up off the ground. Not only that, but when you reach level 100 on the battle pass, you get Stark, and then when you complete the challenges, the emote is to turn into Iron Man. He presses the thing on his chest, and he turns into Iron Man, and then you hit the emote again, and he can turn back out of Iron Man, where it all goes, like the nano suit goes back to it. Got the glider, got the repulsors, the whole deal. Just run around with that. They also introduced a thing where you could actually buy your own character and then make your own hero. So they've got like a bunch of different 20 different color combinations, different races, different skin color. Like you can literally like manipulate through different characters. So I have my own specialized, personalized like.
Did you make a Bobby?
I made a version of a Bobby. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I make a Bobby?
I know I'm saying, but does your Bobby look like you? Like I have.
No, it's not, so you can't get that. It's not that 2K specific. It's a little more. Okay. It's a little more open than that. But I bought the black character because I need the numbers to look good for Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like they have like 5 different like races, I guess, or skin tones or whatever. So I bought the black one because I want the numbers to show that niggas is buying black characters, right? So
yeah.
Even though dude is way darker than me, I was like, we getting representation, homie. I need this to look right. You know what I mean? Like I gotta make sure this is proper. So I bought that one and then just kitted it out. Which
how insane is it that it's fucked up, but that shit we gotta think about, man.
It was definitely what my thought process was when I was looking at, because there were other cats where I was like, this guy's probably closer to my skin tone, but like he doesn't look like a brother. So like I gotta make the numbers right.
I did some shit that was definitely akin to racist white parent with my son one time on 2K. He was playing like the your character thing, right? But his character was white, and I was like, who is that? Because I was like, oh, he's playing with a NBA star. I'm like trying to figure out who that was. He goes, oh, that's my character, and I was like, you made yourself white? And he's like, yeah, I'm just messing around. And I just kind of walked away silently, definitely judging him. And I caught myself because I was like, oh, that is definitely racist white parent. Like what the fuck am I doing? Why do I care? Yeah,
you are definitely playing the racist white parent by doing that.
Sure. Yeah. It was. I felt icky. Like. I made a joke to him later. It's like, I ain't care. When I saw it, it never dawned on me. But I do that shit. Like I play a game. I'll make I make white European basketball stars all the fucking time.
Yeah. Speaking of being on some parent shit, have you ever downloaded TikTok? Is that a thing that you ever got into? Did you?
No,
I know you don't make them.
I'm gonna do it just because you can't do it after tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a weird situation, man. So there's been this whole China shit going on where they're trying to fight with China over things and they're worried about information being taken or whatever. But Oracle is working out a deal to buy TikTok. They are in the process of working this out to make this happen, but they've just submitted the deal they want because they haven't got it done yet. They are going to cut TikTok as of, I think, Sunday. I think it's Sunday, right?
Tomorrow, the 20th, Sunday. Or day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow, Sunday. It's just there are employees for TikTok in the U.S. So there's, I think, 1,500 TikTok employees in the United States, and I'm not exactly sure what that's going to do to their jobs, but I'm sure it's not going to make them super safe. Which by the way is 1,500 more jobs that we may be losing in the U.S. thanks to our president. But on top of that, you've got a situation where there's a lot of people in this country that make income off of TikTok, which, who aren't employees, but who have TikTok. I know people personally who've got, 25, 100,000 subscribers on TikTok. That's a financial opportunity for them that they will not have if that goes away. And so, again, we're in a situation where people's financial ability is being hurt by bullshit.
The crazy thing is, like, there is possible, like, China possibly doing some shit, but China was doing the shit the whole fucking time. This motherfucker didn't care about it until they fucked up his rally. He didn't care about it.
Man, he's been on a mission. I'm not going to talk about politics today. In fact, I'm going to talk about some sports shit and then we'll get out of here. But, like, man, if you're paying any attention to this, go look up what an autocrat is. Go look up what a plutocrat is. Go look up what dictators do and how they come to power. Go look up what Putin has done to enemies of his, and try and consider how it's different than what's happening right now. Right, like a guy gets mad at it that people use an app to disrupt something he's got, and now he's on this personal vendetta to attack an entire company and shut it down from being able to do business here. Like, that's some shit that, like, foreign companies do. Foreign countries do.
8th graders do.
Yeah, 8th graders and dictators in other countries. That is usually their shit. I know we're getting close to an hour here, or about an hour, so I want to try and get out on some good ass shit here. So, have you been? I know you've been watching the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They've been amazing.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler is literally willing his way into the finals, man, and he's got a good crowd around him. We were talking about this yesterday. I think Jay Crowder and Goran Dragic and having Iguodala on the bench. Those are great supporting players.
Don't leave the other two white boys.
I was talking about the vets first. I was talking about Dragic and Crowder and Iguodala as being, like, stabilizing forces. But they've been killing the Celtics with that zone defense, man. The zone defense they've had has been crushing Boston. And honestly, I think if they get to the Lakers, if it's the Lakers and them, they're going to give the Lakers fits with that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
because here's the thing. I'm not saying, because I don't want anybody coming for me. I respect LeBron James' game. I'm not a fan of him basketball-wise. I'm a fan of him off the court. A huge fan of him off the court. I don't like his basketball because he never came to Chicago, so fuck him. But Jimmy is strong enough, and his mindset is he's going to guard the fuck out of LeBron. LeBron might still put up numbers, but I promise you that last shot that LeBron, like when he go to the cup and just, lay it in because he muscle past somebody, that shit ain't happening with Jimmy.
Not with Bam Adebayo either.
Yeah, Bam Adebayo also, yes, who's long. And dude, for those of you who don't understand Jimmy Butler's mentality, like how strong it is. Jimmy Butler, when he first came into the league, when he originally came in the league, when he got drafted 32nd, I believe, or 30th, I believe, the last pick of the first round by the Bulls, they asked him what they thought his role would be, and he said, I'm supposed to guard LeBron James. This motherfucker was the 30th pick in the draft, and he said his role was going to be to guard LeBron James, and this is when the Bulls was actually challenging Cleveland. Yep. Or I can't remember. It was Miami.
I think it was Cleveland. It was before they got to Miami. I think.
Right? Yeah. Like that's his mindset. That's who this dude is. So I agree with you, man. I think when it comes down to it, I think he's that dude. And I think I owe Eric Spoelstra a huge apology. Also,
he can coach his ass off, homie.
I'm gonna say this. Don't underestimate how much Eric Spoelstra knows about LeBron.
If anybody knows how to D up LeBron at all, it's going to be Spoelstra.
That's all I kept thinking. I was like, who's going to be better at breaking down how we going to stop LeBron James and the motherfucker that got 2 rings with him?
Yeah.
Went to 3 championships with him.
Yeah, it's going to be hot, man. It's going to be hot. It's a good, I mean, the Heat have been put it on Boston, but it's been good games. And I know the Lakers and the Nuggets are going to be a really interesting series. I'm excited to see what Jamal Murray and Jokic do.
I was just about to say, I'm not finna just say the Nuggets. I
mean, they've come back from 3-1 twice already here against teams they definitely should have lost to.
I'm sorry. I think it was King DeForest said this, but if I'm wrong, if you're watching the show, I apologize. Somebody tweeted the NBA should just start the Nuggets-Lakers series. Lakers up 3-1. You should just fucking start the series like that.
Last piece I want to talk about. You have shifted from being a Cubs fan this year. You haven't spoken much about the White Sox, but you have mentioned that you are against the Cubs this year. My White Sox, the Chicago White Sox.
White Sox. I'm on board, baby. I came on board before the winning. I came on board before the playoffs.
Then our White Sox have clinched the playoffs. It's so good to hear you say that. Honestly, after knowing you for as long as I have, to hear you say our White Sox is one of the happiest moments.
I'm excited. Abreu's leading the league in Rio.
They are dope, dude. Abreu is a killer. He is crushing.
We finna do it, baby. Hey, I'm like, here's the thing. It has hurt. I had to, algorithms and shit. I've been a Cubs fan for fucking my entire life, literally, since I was a baby. So everything online for me was already set up as some Cubs shit. So I have slowly this summer, because baseball
tried to slide it over.
I forgot about this. I wasn't getting any Cubs alerts, what I normally would. And so then I just start getting all these Cubs alerts, and I kept seeing score, and then it's just, why the fuck do I keep seeing all this Cubs shit? And I remember, that's right, I got Cubs favorite on it. But so I'm like literally going through, tracing back, like what websites do I have that have Cubs favorite or to give me Cubs shit, and killing all that shit and changing it into White Sox.
Man, so, first team to best record in the American League, baby.
Part of the reason why I wasn't talking about the White Sox most of the summer is because I was finding out shit. I was always finding out afterwards. Like Cubs shit, I wasn't getting it during the game because I didn't have the shit set up. Like my Twitter, none of that shit was set up for the White Sox. So
find it, because it's going to be a fun playoff time,
so
man.
That's why I know that Brady should know that stuff. But I didn't I wasn't knowing shit because I wasn't getting the updates. I couldn't find it.
Where can people find you online? So they can see you from
above. You can find me at XL Comedy on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. Fucks with XL Comedy. That's where most of the fun shit at, crazy memes and stuff. And you can see me on stages soon. I'm gonna start trying to get on stages and shit a lot more.
I took my first post-corona booking.
Mazel tov, baby.
Yeah, man. You can find XL there. You can find me at Mocha_Jesus on Twitter and Instagram. I will be posting about that booking. It ain't happening until November. So we're going to make sure that we got everything right by then. But it is a club booking. So I will be in a club in November.
There you go.
Nice club booking with one of our previous sponsors. So that's a pretty good move. I'm excited about that. Find me at Mocha_Jesus. You can find our show at New OGs Pod on Twitter and Instagram. We post stuff all the time. Find us on YouTube, the New OGs Podcast. Find People of Comedy at People of Comedy and People of Comedy Network. Get there. Find some of their other shows. Look for tickets for Trigger Warning. If you can still find them, you can watch them on Zoom. And also check out Solar Masters, the only minority-owned solar company in Illinois. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been a good one. That's what's up.
That's what's up. Shout out Jack Gordon. I've been saying I was going to shout you out for weeks.
Jack Gordon. Love you, buddy.
Robert Hines always. Goose.
Say you ballin', but not in my league. Say you ballin', but not in my league. Yeah, whole lot of niggas changed since we came up. They could try to steal the moves, but they ain't us. Thank you, gang, but